Yo, my bad. What's going on, y'all? Get Girt on here real quick. Oh, man. Yo, Girt, you there? What's good, brother? It says can't bring you on camera, bro. Oh, man. Boom, boom, boom. What's up, y'all? What's up?
Yo,
what up, bro?
What's going on with you, man?
What up?
Did you apologize to the people?
Nah, oh yeah, I had I actually turned away. I had a consult, she came in, doing her thing, and then I actually had to put that on pause for the people, man. So
Yeah, especially with the topic for the night, homie.
Yeah, I had to put that on pause for the people. Yeah, so I had to
Hey, what's up?
Business. Huh?
What's up, y'all? What's up,
y'all?
What's up? Beny apologizes for us being tardy. It won't happen again.
Seconds, yo. It
won't happen again.
It was like 2.5 seconds. Relax.
Won't happen again.
What's good,
it was long time. I got people texting me.
What's going on? So, welcome to Talk That Talk live Thursdays. Coach B, Girt, whole team. So today we're talking about the 5 things you should ask a coach before you hire them. And
5 questions. 5 questions, y'all. There's five
questions, and I think we're talking about 5 things you could do to help your coach out too after he hires you.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. There's actually more. But we narrowed it down. If we have time, we'll add on. But five questions that we feel are super important with our time in the wellness industry, which combined is probably going on 20 years combined, close. So, we know a little bit about hiring a coach.
So let's get this popping. Savvy, what up? Saying hi to the folks. Natalie, what's going on? That's Girt's mom. Miss Natalie, let me change that up real quick.
Yes.
Yeah.
What up, Mom?
Miss Natalie, yeah. Let me say that. Deanna, don't be trying to judge me. Nick, what up? All right. So, 5 questions to ask to hiring a coach. Number 1 is, what is your why? That's a good one. What is your why for becoming a coach? Now, these questions, let me tell you, are not going to be your typical things of what you normally would think you would ask a coach before you hire them. So, number 1, what is your why for becoming a coach? Talk about that, Girt.
Yeah, I think first to go back, I think that's what you said is very important. Like, these are not your typical, do you have a certification? How often do you exercise? These are not the typical questions. So what is your why for becoming a coach? Just like, we've talked about on these calls before, you have to have a why. So you want to ask that coach, like, what is your why? And you want to look at them right at that moment, because they should be digging deep. Like, this should come from the depth of their soul. Like, this is about purpose. If they're a coach and they're wanting to coach you, it should be about, it's their purpose and nothing that's surface and transparent.
Yeah.
What's their why?
Yeah, they're not going to tell you, they're not going to say, oh, well, my why is because I like helping people.
Exactly. That's not deep enough.
No, that is not enough.
Deep enough.
Let me tell you something.
I just want to help people lose weight.
Yeah, I want to help people lose weight.
Why?
Nah, why? Yeah.
Why?
And it should be something that they've been through, some type of calling, not because they did athletics when they were in high school, or they did sports when they played basketball. Those are not reasons for why, right? It should be coming from some type of self-reflection, some type of some type of calling, inner calling that has nothing really probably to do with fitness. Maybe it has something to do with what they see their family members go through, what they, what called them to become a coach, what called them to.
Yeah, what you said about self-reflection, something that causes them, it caused them to self-reflect before they said, hey, I'm going to be a coach.
Absolutely.
Right? Because like we talked to you all about, digging deep for that why. Your coach should have dug deep for their why.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So that's number one. Number two, what's your wellness, mindset, nutrition, and fitness philosophy? Huge.
Big.
Huge, huge, huge. What is your wellness, mindset, fitness, and nutrition philosophy? First of all,
you go ahead and start that one, B.
Huh? Yeah.
Start that.
So, all day. So when you're talking about nutrition, first and foremost, the first thing you want to ask them is what's their nutrition philosophy. If they tell you a philosophy that's based off of a program, then that's not probably the right coach for you, right? Because keto may work for me. Paleo may work for me. But paleo is not going to work for you, right? It may not work for you. Keto may not work for you. So whatever their nutrition philosophy is, it should be based off of whole food, whole food structured program. And it should be structured around something that's sustainable to you, not what they think is going to be sustainable to you. Not a bodybuilding nutrition program where you're eating low caloric or whatever they feel like you should be eating. It should be based off of how do I make the nutrition program accommodate to your lifestyle. If they give you a nutrition plan based off of what they think you should eat, it's not the right program. It's not a program that's for you. Let me put it that way. So that's the first one, right?
Yeah, and speaking on that nutrition, like they should be very adamant about it's for you, right? They can give you a framework, but they should also be telling you, hey, you're going to have to do some work because we have to find out what works for your body. We can't stress that enough.
Right. How does this work? Does macro tracking work for you? Does reducing your portion sizes work for you? What is your goal? What do you want to get accomplished? Are you a person who eats out a lot? Or maybe you're a person who meal preps. Whatever it is, it should feel something that's implementable and comfortable to your lifestyle. If it does not feel like that, then they're not making a plan for you. They're just forcing their philosophy down your throat, pretty much. All
Indeed.
Right? So let's talk about mindset real quick, right? So from a mindset piece, right, you should be asking them what part or component of their program is suitable or is, what's the word I'm trying to figure out, or has a mind piece aspect to it.
Mindset,
Right? So fitness is 90% mental, 10% physical. So if it's just come in the gym, meet me here, and I beat you up, or I make you sweat and then go home, it's not gonna work for you. Right?
That's not mindset. Like that should be even before you're sitting down with them, when you're having that initial call with them, they should say something. You should be listening for something related to mindset. Like that should be a part of just the way that they talk. They know that, hey, they have to help you get your mindset squared away before we can talk about squats and push-ups and broccoli and chicken and all that type of stuff.
Yeah, normally that comes through some type of a consultation. That comes through some form of getting to know what your why is. That comes from sitting down and asking you questions like, okay, so what do you want to accomplish? How long have you wanted to accomplish these goals? What is your why behind wanting to accomplish these goals? If you do not accomplish these goals, what is the positive impact or the negative impact that you have if you're not accomplishing these goals? And by asking these questions, what they're doing is they're pulling emotion from you to put it to the front of your mind of why you're actually sitting here doing this. Because 5 pounds is never why.
Never why. They should be pulling all of that out of you, as well as what hasn't worked for you before.
Right.
Like, because that directly relates to your mindset. If they're not asking those type of questions, then you might want to think twice about hiring that coach.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, matter of fact, for everybody who's on here right now, just do us a favor, and I forgot to say this at the top of at the top, but repost, share this as much as possible, because like I said, our goal is for this, as many people to see this as possible. So if you could do us a favor, just share this on your page right now with your
Absolutely.
friends or watch
And
party.
especially somebody that you know needs this type of help. Somebody that you know, I'm sure you know someone that's out there right now that's talking about hiring a coach because they know they need one. Share this with them.
Yes. Number 3. Do you
hold on. We got another piece to the wellness philosophy, and that is the fitness. That's the fitness piece. Like, that's super important. Yes. You don't it falls right with the nutrition, as far as you don't want them talking about the exercises. If they're talking about stuff that worked for them, that's a red flag right away, because you're sitting there, you probably just came up off the couch. They should be talking about that program being tailored for you in some type of way, even if it's in a group. You shouldn't even be in a group and something not be tailored for you, because otherwise they're setting you up to get hurt. They're setting you up for failure.
They should be doing some type of assessment with you.
Yes.
So when you come in, the first thing they do is some type of form of assessment to see to see how your body moves, to see what kind of injuries you have. If they're just putting you on the floor and they're not screening for any of these things, then it's just Johnny come lately, hurt yourself. They don't know if you got a shoulder injury. They don't know what's going on with your lower back. They don't know if your knees are sore. They don't know if any of that's happening.
They should be asking all those. They should be asking all those questions 2 or 3 times. Not only just you filling out that physical activity readiness form, but they should be, once they're reviewing that with you, they should be asking you those questions over and over and over, so that they can draw a clear picture of where you are.
Not only that, but you also got to ask yourself, or ask them as well, what is the majority of the program based in, right? And you want that to be mostly based on strength training, strength focus, right? Because HIIT is a very big thing right now, right? It's huge, but you can't do HIIT every single day. I know most of my clientele age range between 35 to 55, 60 years old. And every time you do those pounding every single day, it wears down your nervous system, wears down your your joints, everything. So you want to make sure that the bulk of the program, right, has a major strength training focus with conditioning days in between those time frames.
And you make a very good point. And along with fitness, they should be talking about fitness also encompasses rest and actually giving your body a time to recover. It encompasses, stress management and all of that stuff. So they should be talking about all that where fitness is related, and not just the exercise piece.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. Number 3. I forgot about that. My bad. Number 3. Do you attend seminars, conferences, workshops? Boom. Education.
It's that simple.
Right. If they're not up on their craft, because fitness is an ever-changing industry, and if they're not up on their craft, how you expect them to be up on you, right? Like, how you expect them to be up to date, up to speed, because there's different things going on every day when it comes to fitness. And if they're not going to different conferences, workshops, if they're not networking with other people, masterminding with other people, then you got to understand that they're just not really wanting to grow, and them not wanting to grow is going to stunt your growth as well.
Yeah, they have to want to get out of their box. Right. Like, you want them always learning, because anytime you sit in front of a coach and they're acting like they know it all, right? Because there are those, there are those coaches that act like they know it all. If they're acting like that, then that's another red flag. you want them to always be seeking out education, because what are they going to do? More than likely, they're going to come back and they're going to be able to pour that into you.
Yep. Nice. All right. Number 4. In what ways do they educate their members? Huge.
There it is. Rolls right together.
On the wall, on our wall here, it says motivate, educate, inspire. That is my coach's core values. Motivate, educate, and inspire. Now, I tell them all the time, if they're doing those 3 things, then they're doing their job. If they're not, then they're not doing their job, right? So how do you educate? The way you educate is through workshops, is through seminars, is through, you know, bringing what they've learned from these different places and hosting those types of cooking parties, like different things that they can do within their community.
Even down to the education of, you know, proper breathing mechanics and proper form. Absolutely. And all that stuff. Are they, you know what I mean? They just give you an exercise and they're saying, go at it. Or are they actually breaking that exercise down for you and telling you, no, this is why you're not doing that right now. Absolutely. You know what I mean? Like, are they progressing you? Like, that's education. There should be some sort of progression for you with your coach and not just one size fits all.
Yep. Number 5. Ask them what books are they currently reading. This one is my favorite one out of all of them, right? If they're not watering, if they're not planting, cultivating, and harvesting themselves, they can't do the same thing with you. So you got to ask yourself the same thing. You have to ask them that. What are they reading? What are you currently reading right now? What are you doing to self-improve or make self-improvements within yourself? That is a huge thing with coaches, because if you are not reading, if you are not educating yourself, it is hard to tell somebody else what to do, right? And if you're not living by that standard, how are you going to tell me and coach me up on what I need to do to make myself better if you're not doing the same thing for yourself? So huge one right there. You got something on that one?
Nah, that was pretty simple. You know, I'm a big proponent of reading. All my members know, you know, your members know how important.
I mean, we got it up off. I mean, work right
still
now.
There?
Yeah. Sorry about that. I'm having all kinds of difficulties tonight.
Oh
but as you can see, personal development is on my wall right here, right? So it says read 2 chapters of a good book, right? That's my daily thing right now, is to read 2 chapters every day of a good book. Everything. Personal development is a big thing when it comes to coaches, right? So you got.
And it shouldn't just be on, because you're going to see coaches that, you know, they get tunnel vision on one thing. You know what I mean? Right. And so everything that we talked about up to this point, you know, it's larger than just, hey, how to do this exercise. You know what I mean? So you want to see your coach at all times. You want to ask them, you know, what are you reading? Especially up front. You want to ask them, what's on your bookshelf?
Absolutely.
All
right. Can I speak to former members? Referrals, believe it or not. Referrals are big when you're talking about, you know, I see a lot of coaches or trainers out there got a million pictures of themselves and they got no pictures of their clients.
Yeah, and but this is about it's one thing to speak to clients that are in the program right now that are happy, but ask that coach, hey, let me speak to 2 or 3 former members, right? To see what those former members are saying about your coach. Because if they had a good experience, they're going to let you know. If they had a bad experience, they're going to let you know. And then it's up to you to ask the questions on, you know, how that went down when they were with that coach.
No doubt. Hey, folks are saying the sound is gone. Is the sound gone for y'all? Or can y'all hear me?
Can y'all hear me? See, man, when you turn things around.
I was trying to get fancy already on week.
Oh my God, this guy. Can y'all hear me?
Y'all can't hear Girt? No. Oh, she said it came back in. All right, good.
All right.
what's been your biggest lesson? This is number 7. Or I mean, do you still want to talk
Yeah,
about
we actually went more than 5. We bumped it up to 7, y'all, and we could have went a little bit higher. But yeah, what's been your biggest lesson during your time as a coach? And
so
this,
what? Yeah, go.
yeah,
Go ahead.
and I think this goes back to, this ties in with number 1, with your why, with your purpose. And it should actually be something that evolves, right? Like my lesson has evolved over time. When I first started, I mean, yeah, I felt like it was my purpose, but I didn't quite have a hold on it. Like when people did certain things, I would get mad. I wasn't patient. That was one of my big lessons. So that's something that you should be looking for in a coach too, because there's some coaches that are going to be so hard on you. They're going to be straight boot campish that they're going to take that boot camp very literally, and they're not going to be patient with you.
Right.
So that's probably been one of my biggest lessons, is to really be patient and really listen to what people are saying, because coaches, we sometimes can get so caught up because we want to help people. We want to help people that we don't, that ear isn't all the way turned on. So listening listening and patience have been huge lessons for me.
I think the 2 for me, 1 is practice what you preach.
No doubt.
That is 1 for me. Practice what you preach. And my second lesson is you can't help everybody. Those are the 2 things that I've learned that have probably been my biggest lessons since I've been a coach. Practice what you preach. We talk about all the time. I mean, I know you and I talk about it all the time, about how we sometimes, we tell our members to do things and then we end up putting them before us. We don't go to bed at a certain time because we are working 1 o'clock in the morning trying to do whatever we got to do for our members and doing all this. And what happens is we sacrifice our own health and our own life to help other people, and we're the foundation of what helps them. So,
and that's of no help. That's of no help to anyone when you get down to it. That's no help to anyone.
So one of my biggest things was, getting in here. And what I started doing, I started working out with my members. I started working out with them. I started, one of my coaches is my accountability coach. So, like I had to do whatever I had to do to get into that rhythm, right? It's not always going to be perfect, but at least I have a plan to be able to do that. And then, like I said, my second thing is that I can't help everyone. And that's one of the things that I had to learn pretty hard, because when you get close, or when you love what you do, you get really close to the people who you do it for, right? And sometimes it gets very frustrating when you know what it is and you see the patterns of things that they go through and you try to prevent those things, and it's just not getting through. And what you got to understand is everybody has to do things in their own time.
And see, that ties into mine with the listening and the patience. Totally.
Right.
Like everybody's going to do it in their own. We can't force, if they're trying to force you to do something, it's not going to work.
Right. And you just got to understand that, whenever their time is coming, I tell people that too. I said, look, whenever that time comes for you, hopefully it's a decision that you're making and somebody's not making it for you, i.e. a doctor, i.e. an illness, i.e. one of those things that's going to make it for you. Hopefully it's going to be one of those. Hopefully you're going to wake up and say, I need to make this decision for myself. But being so close and so passionate to what you do, you sometimes get in, for lack of better words, you get in your feelings when you be like, damn, like, why can't I get through to this person? Why can't I help this person? And you kind of self-reflect to yourself and say, am I not doing my job right? Can I not be better at doing certain things? So those are the 2 things that I would say was probably one of my biggest lessons in me being a coach. So just to go back over the top 7 things, again, for those who just jumped on the call. Number 1, what's your why of becoming a coach? They have to understand, or every coach should be able to relay to you why they became a coach. I know why I became a coach. I was in a crappy position with myself and unhappy with myself. And then once I became healthy again, it just made me want to help other people become the same way that because I knew how it felt to be unhealthy. I knew how that low self-esteem felt. I knew all of those things. So I wanted to make sure that I could help other people come out of that rut as well, right? And then coming from families, like watching my grandmother, she had glaucoma, she had diabetes, she had all of these things, right? She had her legs cut off. I know these things on my dad's side, my mom's side. Like, I've watched these things happen in my community. So I wanted to make a difference with helping other people as well. So, you know, you have to understand what that why is. So that's number one. Number two, what's your wellness mindset, nutrition, and fitness philosophy? They got to have something that's whole food based, that's a combination.
The whole thing has to be about the whole person. So it's in you, but it's about, you know, you were going to say whole food. It's about 360-degree wellness. Their philosophy can't lean in any one direction too much. You know what I mean? If they're just talking about exercise, then that's a problem. If they're just talking about nutrition, that's a problem. Like, you want a well-rounded philosophy. It's not going to be perfect, but you definitely want it to be well-rounded when they're talking about their philosophy.
Absolutely. Yeah. So that's number three. Number four number three is do they attend seminars, workshops? If they're continuously sharpening their iron by going to different events, going to different things that are going to keep them in tune with what's going on around them in their field of work. So
number four, in what ways do you educate your members?
Workshops.
This is you know, and I want to add on to this one. This was super important because, you know, some coaches will try to keep their clients dumb. You know, they'll try to keep them dumb. No, seriously, they'll try to keep them dumb so that they have to absolutely depend upon them. You know what I mean? One of the things I like to tell my folks in a consultation when they're coming aboard is we want to empower you. Like, your coach should be looking to empower you around your health. It should not just be about you depending upon them, because they're not going to always be around. You know what I mean? You're going to take vacations. You're going to be at home. You can't make it. You're not going to want to make it sometimes. And if they're coaching you along the way and they're empowering you, you should be able to go anywhere and say, you know what? I know what to buy at the grocery store. I know what exercises to do when I'm on this vacation, right? So you want a sense of empowerment from that coach, and that goes to them educating you every step of the way.
Absolutely. Number
five.
What are they reading? You want to make sure that they're keeping their own mental personal growth on the up and up, right? So you want to make sure that they're reading books. You want to make sure that they pretty much, you know, like, they match the lifestyle you match, right? If you got a coach who don't read, who don't go to workshops, who don't do this, is this somebody who you would associate yourself with outside of coaching, right? That's a big thing to ask yourself. Is this somebody who you would associate yourself with, or is this somebody who you would hang around with outside of coaching? And
Indeed.
if not, then that's not the person for you.
Yeah, they should be, and I think you said it earlier, you know, they should be talking to counterparts in their field. If they're just staying in their box and they're not talking to anybody else, like, their ceiling is going to be a lot lower than that coach that's in masterminds, that's going to workshops, that has a coach himself. We probably forgot that off the list.
Yeah.
Does your coach have a coach?
Yeah, right.
So let's go ahead and add number 8, y'all. Does your coach have a coach?
Right.
Yes. No, that should probably, like, that's right there with number 1. Does your coach have a coach?
I got a few.
Yes.
I got like 5. Right. Can I speak to former clients? Number 6. Talked about that a little bit before we got cut off a little bit, but, you know, proof is in the pudding. right? You want to learn about what they've done or who they've helped. Talk to the people who they've helped, right? That's an easy one. Number 7 or number 8 in this regard. What's been your biggest lesson during your time as a coach? So those are the 8 things that we feel that every person should ask before they hire a coach. Now, let's flip this around a little bit, right? The part
yes, the beautiful part right here. Let's flip it. This is
the beautiful part.
We get
5 ways you can help your coach be
best help you.
Yes.
You know that. You know
ways.
that. I'm a movie buff, y'all. You know my clients know that. So you know it's the Jerry Maguire line. Help me, help you.
Yes.
Help me, help you.
Help me.
Help you.
Help me. Right. 5 ways to help your coach best help you. Number 1, communicate openly and then often as needed about your successes, about your challenges, wants, needs, and feedback on the service you are being provided. No surprises, right? Communicate, y'all. Like, y'all got to talk. Y'all got to be able to talk to a coach when things not only are going good, but when things aren't going great for you, right? Both mindset inside and outside the gym, right?
We can't stress this enough. Don't hold back. What did he end that with? He said, no surprises. I'm sure B has had surprises when clients are a month in or 4 or 5 months in because they didn't want to share that. And you not sharing that, you not sharing whatever it is because you figure I can get past this on my own. It is affecting your experience. It's affecting the way that coach can help you. If you do not tell them, if it relates to your health, let them know. We can't stress that enough. Communicate often and openly.
Fitness is it is or coaching client relationship is like a relationship, right? So
it is relationship.
Yes. It is whatever you bring to the table is whatever you're gonna get out of it. So there's no magicians over here. So you gotta come and bring and not only come with, the stuff that you bring, but you got to always continuously keep us updated on what's going on with you.
That's the key. We do this together.
Right.
It's like what you said, B. It's not a magician. You don't just tell them and they just pull it out of the hat. It's something that we do together over time.
Right. Absolutely. Number 2, be patient with the process. Hello. It's a lifelong journey of baby steps. Hello.
So read that. Can you read that again? Slowly.
Well, hold on. I want to go back up a little bit because I want to talk about number 1 again, right? About that communication part. Angela just said something that really, really sparked something that I find that a lot of members or a lot of people do, period, right? So when you come in for your original consult, when you come in and you sit down with your coach, you talk about everything that you have a problem with. And the minute things go on in your life, if you're part of a good gym, if you go missing, they going to start looking for you. If you're part of a good program and you go missing for a while, your gym is going to start looking for you. They're going to be making phone calls, text messages, emails, whatever they got to do to get you back in the gym. If they're doing that, respond. Respond. Right?
Don't ignore your coach.
When you're doing that, right, you're not hurting them, you're hurting yourself. 1, you're wasting money, and then 2, you're hurting yourself.
But no, let's be real. You are hurting them. You're hurting them. We said this is a relationship. You're hurting the relationship. It's 2 ways. You know what I mean? We respect one another, we build trust in one another. So it's 2 ways. You're hurting that relationship when you don't communicate.
Yes. You got to communicate. If you don't, and when you're hiding, you're not hiding from us, you're hiding from yourself, right? You're hiding from yourself. You see the text messages, you see the calls, you see the emails. You're hiding from yourself, and what you're doing is you're creating barriers to get you to the place where you want to go, even though you came and volunteered to do it. So I just want to go back to there real quick.
No doubt.
And
but number 2, y'all, be patient with the process.
Yes.
It's a lifelong journey of baby steps.
Talk about it.
look, y'all, it's that simple. Be patient. You were patient when you were getting out of shape. You weren't saying, man, you weren't saying the same things that you say when it's time to get in shape. Oh, I don't see results. If I don't see results, I'm going to quit. When you were getting that other result, when you were getting that bad result, you weren't saying those things. So don't come to your coach saying those things when you want to flip. You think it's magic, as in turning on a light switch, and we're going to get these results like that. Be patient, baby steps. And tell yourself that. Say that again.
Tavares says, so you mean I'm not going to lose 30 pounds in 2 months? No, that's not what's going to happen, right? That's not going to happen. So, yeah, you got to be patient. Like he said, like, I mean, people come in here with some unrealistic expectations sometimes, right? They're like, and like you said, Girt, you know, you had all this time when you was chilling. You was like, oh, I can go to the gym tomorrow. Matter of fact, you patient sometimes when you're patient when you're procrastinating. Like, oh, well,
hey man, you patient when you sitting on. You patient when you sitting on the couch,
absolutely.
Or when you keep putting it off to the next Monday, and to the next month, and to the next year. Like, you're super patient.
Absolutely. Number 3, embrace change, because it's an inevitable if you want to nurture and flourish a living, or to nurture a flourish, whatever.
Nurture and flourish lifestyle. Living a healthy lifestyle.
What is going on with me today, bro?
Yeah, don't worry about it, man. It's all right. Embrace the change, y'all. Embrace the change. You're going to eat some things that you haven't eaten, and they may not taste like a Jolly Rancher.
Right.
That's fine. Some things you're not going to ever like, but embrace the change.
Yes.
It's that simple.
Yeah. I mean, you know, a lot of people say, well, I don't like this, or I ain't never ate that before. What's that?
Right.
What's that? What? Hell, what? Like, try something new, right? Try something, step out your comfort zone, try things you've never eaten before. If it's outside your culture, it may be something that you're missing. You know what I mean? Just try to step out the box a little bit and step up and embrace change. Right. So
yeah, and you know, and the change, you know, a lot of people think it's about restriction, and it's not about restriction. It's actually going to open up all sorts of freedom for you if you actually embrace the change of living a healthy lifestyle. Like, you are going to see so much that you didn't see before. Trust that.
Right. Friggin' Mario said, "What is quinoa?" Right. Yeah. Well, what is quinoa? Right. Yeah. So, and it may not just be with nutrition as well. It may just even be with fitness. If you're used to working out a certain way, maybe you're used to doing cardio 50 minutes before you work out, right? And now your coach is trying to tell you that that's dumb. Don't do 50 minutes of cardio before you strength train. Maybe only do cardio 2 days a week. What? Only do cardio 2 days a week? Yeah. Maybe only do cardio 2 or 3 days a week, right? Embrace.
Hey, that's another Hey, y'all, that's another conversation. We're gonna jump on that in 2 weeks. We're gonna jump on that cardio. We're gonna jump on that cardio.
I'm saying, like, some people are just used to
no. I feel what you're saying.
A certain way.
Yes. But you saying that, you know what I mean? It knocks on a whole lot of doors, because you know, cardio is the queen and the king in most people's minds. But let's get it so that we stay on time with our 8:45. So number 4, listen to what you were told the first time and educate yourself as much as possible.
Can you say that again, please? The first time.
The first time. Because a lot of times you come in and the coach tells you something and you say, you know what? I did it like this before. When you came to that coach for advice, and then you're like, you know what? You're right. After they already told you that. After they already told you. So listen the first time.
Some people got to bump their head before they understand what pain is. Yeah, some people got to bump their head before they understand what pain is. All right.
But
And
let's hit on that real quick. To educate yourself as much as possible, y'all. Like, don't even just take everything that your coach says as the gospel, right? I encourage my members to do their own research. So always educate yourself.
Yep. And last but not least, have fun, right?
Fun.
Enjoy the process, every bit of it, right? Stop etching for results. Stop jumping on scales every week. That is probably one of the most depressing things that you can do for yourself. Jumping on a scale after every workout, jumping on a scale after every, I mean,
just a simple act of just smiling every time that you are going to actually gift your body movement. Every time that you're going to give your body good food, like, smile. Like, you should embrace that. It should be fun. Like, this shouldn't be like drudgery. Not all the time. Sometimes you're not going to want to feel like it. But overall, you should be having fun with this. Like, you coming from a position where you couldn't do all of this stuff, and you're going to start to do all these new things. That should be fun. It should be put a big ass smile on your face.
Dope. All right, so we got some questions. We got some comments. Let's see if we can get to that before we jump off of here. Lisa said something about her schedule. This is for you, Girt. She said that her schedule changed from 4 days a week to 1 or 2 days a week. Is that still good? I was just on it, and I
ask your coach for some homework.
Yeah, she said since I started working full time, my time at Live Now Fitness has decreased from 4 days a week to 1 to maybe 2 days a week. Is that okay?
That's another. We'll talk. Let's talk about that. But we give you some homework.
Okay. Thanks for keeping us knowledgeable, Girt. Claudette says I need to be better in the area of communication when times are bad. That's probably one of the biggest struggles, Claudette. Like, real talk. Like, you be surprised. Like, when people start struggling, they go quiet, they go distant.
And that's when you should be. That's when you should be like. You should be like this.
Because
like,
that's why
help me.
Gyms. Yes, that's why you join gyms like ours, because it's like, or studios like ours, because you want that help and you want that accountability. It's there. Use it.
Don't lose 2, 3 weeks, 2, 3 months because you didn't want to say anything.
Yep. Brett says, just like sports, Brady couldn't win without his coach. Absolutely. Your first coach was your mom or your dad. Whoever that person is the biggest influence in your life. That's why we say coaches and not trainers, right? That's why we say coaches and not trainers. Coaches are more well-rounded. They inspire you. They motivate you. They educate you.
They dig deep. They dig deep with you.
Trainers take you through workouts, right?
Absolutely. But hey, B, let's get to the questions. Let them know. We're gonna get to your questions in the comments, like, because we want to stick to we want to be timely. We want to be timely. We got on a little late, but we want to start to wrap. We want to start to wrap up. Let folks know, like, next week we'll be on time, and we're gonna take it to where we gonna take it next week, B.
Next week. This is a heavy hitter.
Yeah, where we gonna take them?
We're talking about Christianity and obesity.
Church.
Obesity.
Church. We talking about church.
Christianity and obesity. All right, heavy topic. Somebody may get mad, and it's okay. It's okay.
That's fine. Church and obesity. We taking y'all to church next week.
All right, church and obesity. Here we go.
All right. Hey, y'all, we appreciate y'all. Thanks for tuning in. Peace.